Hi everyone, it's the Comic Fan Man here coming at you with another video. And in today's video, I just wanted to have a little IRL chat about things that are going to be affecting my hobby here going down the line. First and foremost, I do have a bunch of figures that I'm doing reviews for, so I should be able to keep my Motu Tuesdays and Random Figure Friday schedule from here, into September, more or less. So, I was really happy all of those started coming in. However, from September onward, I am going to slow down. Simply because I got a couple of things going on. First and foremost is that I am going back to school, so that is going to get into my schedule because I do work full-time. I do have my own personal business that I do, and then I'll be going to school to secure my bachelor's so that I can move into my master's program. So wish me luck. I look forward to that. I think it's going to be a fun challenge. So that's first and foremost. Secondly is pricing. I mean, I just logged into Big Bag Toys store today and just to have a look. And yeah, I'm like the new Marvel Legends line, McFarlane's Super Friends line, these companies are crazy. I don't understand how they're justifying these prices. The Marvel Legend figures are still exactly the same Marvel Legend figures that they've always been, and somehow they went from $20 to $25 all the way up to $40 now, which is wild to me. There's no way those figures are not worth $40. And then from there, you move on to McFarlane. His Super Friend line is basically the same as the Batman 66 line, which were $10 to $15, and he shot them up to $25. And I know McFarlane Toys, he's not going to stop there. He's doing that. He's going to raise prices across the board. He's has a proven track record of doing that, and it's kind of wild. The other thing is Mythic Legions is a new line that I've gotten into. I mean, it's not a new line. It's a new line for me. But they've been around forever. And I'm fairly new to the line. And I was really having a good time with these figures. And I looked into their new wave. And I was checking it out. And they raised their prices as well. And I'm like, oh man, everybody's hitting me in the wallet. So I couldn't justify going into their new wave. I love it. I love their work. The Four Horsemen are amazing. I will never say anything negative about their work because they are tremendous. But I can't go along with the new pricing. It's just too much for me. Right now I haven't seen anything updated about Masterverse figures, the newer ones that should be coming soon. So I don't know what their pricing is going to be. But I'm hoping they stay within the $20 to $25 range. I hope it doesn't go crazy like Hasbro and McFarlane. Now, I know part of the excuse is going to be the tariffs for these companies. I know they're going to use that as their excuse. However, even if the tariffs went down, right? If let's say the tariffs go down, do you honestly believe Hasbro and McFarlane Toys are going to bring their figure pricing down? No, it never ever goes down. Figure prices never go down. So I don't want to hear that as an excuse. I know it's legit. It is a legit problem. Tariffs are a terrible, terrible problem right now. And I get it. And I know most people, on that side of the aisle, they're going to say, well, the tariffs are here and it hasn't affected. It's like, no, you guys don't understand how tariffs work. Once they're on there, you don't feel it really until about 6-7 months later. And guess what? We're at that threshold. And the first economic report came out, and Trump was so upset that he fired the lady that did the report. Like that's like she was the one that caused the problem, when it's very clearly the tariffs. Like, I don't know who was the person that like blurted into Trump's fantasy that tariffs are going to be the way to make America great. It's like, tariffs have never done anything good for America. You can't do across the board tariffs. You have to strategically use them to protect American interests. You can't just do it straight across the board, because that doesn't protect America's interest. Because then you're affecting you're affecting stuff that we actually need, like manufacturing products, manufacturing supplies, stuff that we can't make here because America can't grow those things, or doesn't have those things in our earth. Excuse me. So yes, I know the tariffs are a problem, but I know that even without the tariffs, Hasbro and companies like Hasbro and McFarlane, who have been shown to like move their goalpost on pricing to a ridiculous level sometimes, they're just using that as an excuse, because they're, even without the tariffs, even if Trump was to say, I'm dropping all tariffs tomorrow, they're not going to reduce their prices. That's just a matter of fact. The way they've run their companies, I know that. Now, hopefully, again, I can stick with Masterverse. I love Masterverse, and I do feel like their more recent waves have done such a tremendous job with painting and sculpting that really gives them such a much better quality. And they're still only in the $20-$25 price range. So that's fantastic. Like for me, this year alone, I like Merman of all of all characters. Merman for me is still in the running for like a figure of the year because of the paint wash and sculpt that he has and articulation. So so hopefully I can continue at least with Masterverse. But it is going to definitely put me on a pause with all of these other kind of adult collector lines. Because yeah, it's too much money. They've raised their prices, and again, I love Mythic Legions. I love Four Horsemen. I love what they do, but you know, my family comes first. I have to make sure there's food on the table. I don't know exactly how these tariffs are going to affect everything, but I do know, you know, I'm a paraprofessional. I do work in the DOE, and I do know that every history class, when we start talking about the Great Depression, the first thing we're talking about is the Smoot-Hawley tariffs, the Tariff Act of 1930. That was kind of what, you know, threw the gasoline on the Great Depression. You know, thinking that you're going to defend America first, like you realize you just raised the prices on everybody, and already nobody had jobs to be buying things, and it just spiraled. So I am hoping that obviously we don't go through that. Please God, don't let that happen again. But that, you know, I do have to prepare. I do have to make myself ready to support my family no matter how. And obviously the first thing that's going to take a hit is my hobby of action figure collection, especially if the figures are like, you know, going into like the $40 range for figures that are not even worth $25. Like, y'all are bugging. I mean, I put in for the new Doom figure that McFarlane Toys just put out, and then like the day after, he announced a 12-inch figure, and I was like, oh wow, that looks really good for $60. Like, that looks amazing. And thank God I did not go for it because I just saw the first review of that figure, and that is an absolute scam. That figure is a 12-inch figure, but it only has 5 points of articulation. It has no movable joints whatsoever, wrist joints, ankle joints, nothing. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. It's like a 1980s, like the 1980s Motu figures had more articulation, more range than a 2025 action figure. That's wild to me. Like that figure is not worth $10. The reviewer was like squeezing the legs and everything. It was like, it looked cheap, really, really cheap. And I was so disappointed. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be much more how can I put it? I'm gonna be much more stringent with how I collect and what I collect, simply because yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with the economy, because this is the time where the effects of those tariffs are going to start to be felt. I know some folks were like, well, you know, we didn't feel nothing yet. It's like, that's not how it works. You feel it down the line, and it's going to start from here onward. So yeah, so that's, you know, the pricing of action figures unfortunately is getting out of hand. I enjoy what I got. I'm really, really happy. And obviously there are some figures here that I haven't done reviews for yet, but they're in the pipeline, so you will see them in the next couple of weeks. And I'm glad that I was able to get some of these, at least some of these adult collector pieces. But I am going to have to put a pause to it, and I'm going to have to like stick to Masterverse or figures within that price range. So that way, you know, I can focus on my bills, you know, tighten the belt. So that way, make sure, like, you know, the family's doing good throughout this time. You know, hopefully it won't be anything major, but you got to be prepared. As you know, for me, as a father, as a husband, that's my first priority. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, it was just, you know, just some quick chatter about, like, you know, how I'm going to be doing collecting from here on out. But I do have quite a few videos already lined up. They're already done. So I'll just be releasing them during the schedule, since I won't be at home. All right. Stay blessed, everyone. Be good, do good. Take care of yourselves, take care of your family, and look out for your neighbors. All right. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you and have a great day. Bye-bye now.